Hey there, Elena Rarig here with Box Crushers. Have you been taught to discover who you are? Most everyone has. But allow me to ask you this. Have you also been taught to leave the past in the past and instead look towards the future? Well, when we discover ourselves, aren't we going into our past? Aren't we discovering who we have been? To discover something is to find what was. Instead, I encourage my audience to merely take a glance at who they are acting as today and to pinpoint what it is that they don't like and what it is that they do like. Next, I have them determine who they want to be and then determine to be that person. You see, God gave each and every one of us free will. He gave us choice. Part of utilizing this free will is choosing who we want to be, not who they say we are or who we have been or who they think that we ought to be. Okay, so perhaps you are wondering why this is such an important topic that it made it into my teachings. Well, a while back, I sent out a survey to about 100 people and asked them if in one sentence they can tell me who they are. The response was astounding. Only 2 people got it right. 98% of the people responded with statements such as, I'm a teacher, I'm an accountant, I'm a mother. And there were even some really creative answers, such as, I am who I am, and that's a hard question. As I look at many of the problems that we have today in the world, it really goes back to the fact that people just don't know who they are. What becomes of our career, our success, and our life in general when we don't fully grasp who we are? When we don't know who we are, there are many obstacles created, but just to name a few. First, we live in confusion. Second, we fall for anything. And third, opinions, judgments, and rejections hinder our growth and achievements. And finally, we ultimately lose control and we have begun giving into conformity. It is with my excitement to help you, your staff, your audience, or your team determine who they are. It's time to be grounded in truth and to stand up proud of who we are and determined to be the warrior we were created to be. God bless and be significant. Hey, it's you again. So great to see you made it this far. We just finished discussing why determining who you are is essential to life, business, and your overall success. Now I want to introduce you to the 3D option to fear. Fear is something that each and every one of us live with, and more than likely we struggle with. Of course, there is the standard definition to fear, but I want to take the time to share with you my definition of fear. And that is, fear is a showstopper hindering you from reaching new heights in your life. When fear is present, it's completely okay. Say what? Yes, it really is okay. Because you see, fear is more than likely going to be present way more often than what you desire. But it is what you do with that fear that will either make you or break you. I have come up with what I call the 3D option for fear. These 3 options are 1, you're either dominated by it, 2, you dance with it, or 3, you divorce it. Sad to say, most people do number 1, and that is that they are dominated by it. Because of this, they are stuck where they are. They listen to every opinion and judgment and criticism. But not only are they listening, they are reacting to it. It is with my excitement to help you, your staff, your audience, your team, learn how to get to the 3rd option, which is divorce your fears. Divorcing your fears doesn't happen overnight. It takes work, hard work, and dedication. But no worries, because once you have determined who you are, divorcing your fears becomes much, much easier. All right, now let's get on and see what Discover Your Capabilities is all about. God bless and be significant. All right, you made it to the 3rd D, Discover Your Capabilities. It's great to converse with you yet again. We already discussed determine who you are and divorce your fears, So now, let's get started on why Discover Your Capabilities is such an asset to the 5D transformation system. This D, Discover Your Capabilities, is one of my favorites because this is where it gets fun. Actually, it gets really exciting. Once we know who we are and are grounded in this truth, we have determined to be that person we never imagined we could really be. And then we have learned to dance with our fears in order to divorce them. We now begin to discover all sorts of exciting new things that we are capable of, things we've never dreamt possible. Let me give you just one little nugget of gold to take with you today to demonstrate this truth. Now, it's obvious that I don't really know you, but if you are like the majority of people out there, you perhaps have found yourself saying, "But I'm not creative." Is that you? Well, if so, then allow me to show you why that is one huge, big, fat lie. You see, half of your brain is responsible for your creativity. So if you aren't creative, then you're missing half your brain. The real problem is that many people just don't utilize it. It is my excitement to help you, your staff, your audience, or your team learn how to be creative by stimulating the creative side of the brain. Once we are creative, we are halfway to our success. What? Only halfway? Yes, because the other part to creativity is to be a visionary. You cannot create what you cannot envision. This is why teaching your people how to become a visionary is paramount in the process of discovering your capabilities. Now that we have determined to be who we were created to be, we have divorced our fears, and we have all these new capabilities. The sky's the limit, and we can go on to developing a significant life. See you there. God bless and be significant. Well, it's almost time to say goodbye for now. But first, we have two more D's to discuss. Let's talk about developing a significant life. Many people ask me what this means. So let's start at the beginning. Great versus significance. Living in America, we live a great life. We have freedom, a roof over our head, food at nearly every corner, a car to drive, and most of us take vacations often. Although all of this indeed is great, it is not significant. So what is significance? Have you ever met someone and only had about 5 or 10 minutes to actually talk to them, but you walked away from them feeling way better than the moment you met them? Perhaps you still recall this encounter and smile at the thought of the person because they impacted you in such a profound way. That is one example of significance. That person in some way was significant in your life because they touched you. They left you better than what they found you. To be significant is to change the world. Now, not all of us are called to be a leader and to go out and change the entire world. But what we are called to be is a warrior and change the world in which we live. Look around you, all around you. Who are you sitting next to? Who did you see today? Who did you talk to today? This is your world, the world around you. How are you impacting it with your significance? It is with my excitement to help you, your staff, your audience, or your team learn how they too can develop a significant life, how they can impact the world around them. You know, make their environment a more joyful and peaceful place to be. Well, this was fun, and after talking about all of these 4 Ds, I am more excited than ever, but at the same time a bit sad because this means we only have one more D to discuss. Well, see you there. God bless and be significant. Well, you made it to the final D, define your purpose. This is where the warrior comes into play. Too often, I see people push the whole leadership teaching. What I have found is all this does is make people who aren't born to be leaders feel discouraged and less than. The truth is, we were not all created to be leaders. If we were, who would help me with all the behind-the-scenes stuff? Although we weren't all created to be leaders, we were all created to be warriors. So if you're not a born leader and you just don't have that passion to be one, Stop feeling bad about yourself. This is your special gift. But I do want to show you how you were created to be a warrior in whatever position you are in or whatever position you desire to be in. Perhaps you are in a position that you are dissatisfied in. Well, for one, that may be why you're finding it hard to be a warrior where you are. Defining your purpose is all about finding your place in this world, living that significant life that you were created for, that was designed specifically for you. It is my excitement to help you, your staff, your audience, or your team define your purpose so that you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are right where you were created to be and are excited to be there. Because without the excitement in life, we cannot be significant in other people's lives. Well, that is the end to the introduction of the 5D transformation system. I hope that you now have a better understanding of where my passion lies and how I desire to help you. All you have to do now is click on the Contact Us page and let me know when you are ready to transform your life and your people's lives. God bless and be significant.